Good morning, everyone. 11th class, accountancy. Chapter 8, journal. And this chapter is completely based on rules of debit and credit. Clear? So before going for the numerical portion, you must know the meaning of journal. Yes, you must know the meaning for journal. So what is journal? Write down. It's not general, it's journal. So journal is a book of, write down the meaning and definition, book of primary entry. Journal is a book of primary entry or a book of original entry. Book of primary entry or book of original entry. Primary entry means first entry is done in this book. Original entry means originally the transaction is recorded first time in the books of account. And this book of account is known as journal. Book of entry in which transactions, which transactions? Business transactions. Transactions are recorded first time. Transactions are recorded first time in chronological order. In chronological order. In chronological order from accounting vouchers. From accounting vouchers. This is the complete definition of journal. So alternate name of the journal are primary, book of primary entry or book of original entry. These two are the alternate name of the journal, book of primary entry or the book of original entry. And it is the first book, as you have seen. Palak Luthra, should I remove you? Better to remove. Wait a minute. Yes. So it is a book of original entry or primary entry in which transactions are recorded first time. While doing the accounting process, I told you all the steps. And in those steps, the first step was identifying the transaction. Second step was converting them in terms of money. Third step was the recording. So where the recording is done? The recording is done in journal. So it means whenever we will be making the journal, it means we are recording the transaction. We are in the third step of the accounting process, which is preparation of journal. Clear? So in this, the transactions are recorded from where? From the accounting vouchers. Accounting vouchers means source documents like accounting vouchers are prepared from source documents like bill, cash memo. All these are the source documents. Clear? So on the basis of these, the accounting vouchers are prepared. Then after the preparation of the vouchers, journal is prepared on the basis of vouchers. And in this, transactions are recorded first time as well as in chronological order. Chronological order means date-wise. Chronological order means date-wise. It means the transactions which happened first will be recorded first. Suppose we have sold goods on 10th July, then on 30th July. And both the transactions are given together. So first of all, we will be writing the transaction of 10th July. Then we will be writing transactions of 30 July. Why? Because books, all the books, whether it is journal or ledger, are prepared in sequence in date wise according to the dates. So the transactions which happened first will be recorded first. Clear? So this is known as chronological order. So this is all about the journal. So journal is a book of primary entry or a book of original entry in which transactions are recorded first time in chronological order from accounting vouchers. Clear? And next is the format of journal, and in that format I will be explaining the other things also in relation to journal. Make the format. All the journal entries you have to pass in this format only. Clear? So format of journal. Yes, format of journal I am drawing. You need to also draw the same format. Journal of ABC. It is the name of the business. ABC Limited, ABC Brothers, Messrs ABC and Sons, whatever the name in the question is given, that name you need to mention at the top of the journal. It means this journal belongs to ABC Limited. Clear? And these are the all lines which you have to draw. This first column is always meant for date. So here you are going to write the date of transaction. If no date is mentioned in the question, then you can write here the sequence number, like number 1, number 2, number 3. So the sequence is mentioned here. So first column is known as date, and second column, write down, is known as particulars. Second column is known as particulars. So here you are going to write down the transaction. This column is meant for LF. You have to write down here LF. LF means ledger folio. I will be explaining its meaning also later on. LF. LF means ledger folio. Then this is the debit column and this is the credit column. We all have studied that every transaction will be having the equal amount of credit for the amount of debit. Clear? So this is the rupees, debit rupees, and this is the credit rupees. Or instead of rupees, what else we can write? We can write here amount, debit amount or credit amount. So it's up to you. You want to write rupees or amount. So this is the format of journal. So from today onwards, whatever the questions you will be doing in this chapter, you will be doing only in this format. In accountancy, there is a format for each and everything. Like in accounting equation also we had made a format. So same is with the journal, ledger, trial balance, trading and profit and loss account. For each stage of the accounting process, there is a format and you are required to follow that format only. You cannot make your own formats. Clear? So first of all, here we are going to mention the date. This is very much clear. And here we are going to mention two accounts. Name of two accounts. At least two accounts will be there in a transaction. So in this space, we are going to write the name of two accounts which are involved in the accounting transaction. Clear? And LF, write down the meaning of LF. LF is the ledger folio. It's a very important one marker question. All the transactions which we are writing in the journal will be posted to the ledger. In the next stage, classification stage, ledger will be prepared. And this ledger will be prepared only on the basis of journal. So suppose I have written one transaction and I'm mentioning here page number 15. So ledger folio means the page number of the ledger. Write down. Ledger folio means the page number of the ledger where ledger folio means the page number of the ledger where the debit and credit aspects of transaction is posted. Where the debit and credit aspects of the transaction are posted. In every transaction, there will be two aspects. One is debit and the other one is credit. And on ledger folio, the page number. Suppose that debit aspect is posted on 15 and credit aspect is posted on 26. So it means if we want to cross check the transaction, we will be opening the ledger, go to the page number 15 and we can check whether the transaction is posted correctly or not. Clear? So debit ledger folio is the page number of the ledger where debit and credit aspect of the transactions are recorded. Shivam Kapoor, you are not visible. So please don't play with the focus of the camera. Otherwise, I will remove you. Clear? And here we are going to write the amount for the debit. And here we are going to write the amount for the credit. Clear? In whatever the transactions we will be doing, that will be known as journal entry. Again, a one marker question. Define journal entry. Write down the meaning of journal entry. Yes. An entry which is recorded in journal. An entry which is recorded in journal is known as journal entry. Here, next important term, meaning of journal, meaning of ledger folio, then journal entry, and last important term of today's topic is journalizing. Journalizing. Journalizing is the process of, write down, journalizing is a process of recording a transaction. Process of recording a transaction in journal. Numerically also I will explain all these terms when we will be solving the numericals. Then I will be explaining what is journal entry here, what is journal here, and what is journalizing. So journal means this complete format. Journal means the complete format. Yes, journal means the complete format. And journal entry means the transaction which is written in the journal. And journalizing means, yes, journalizing means the process of passing the journal entry. Here, process of recording the journal entry is known as journalizing. So now, in the next thing, we have to learn that process, that how the journal entry is passed. What are the rules for passing the journal entry? So let's take an example. Wait a minute. I'm taking one example. Suppose sold goods for cash. This is one business transaction. This is known as transaction for rupees 5,000. And first of all, before passing the journal entry, we need to prepare an analysis table. And on the basis of that, we will be passing the journal entry. So this analysis table will be telling us which account is to be debited and which is to be credited. So I have prepared this table in rough. So sold goods for cash. So first of all, we have to identify the name of the accounts in each transaction. Like here we are selling the goods for cash. So two accounts are involved here in this transaction, cash account and sales account. Similarly, in all the transactions, there must be at least two accounts involved. There may be more than two, but at least two accounts will be there in each and every business transaction. So again, I'm explaining sold goods for cash. So you can see that two accounts are involved here, cash and the sold means sales. Whenever we will be selling the goods, there will be always one account sales. So cash and sales. Now identify the nature of these two accounts. Nature, according to the modern approach. Please tell me the nature of these two accounts as modern approach we have already done. Yes, you can give me answer in chat box. I am waiting. Anji, tell me fast. Yes, sales is revenue, very good, and cash is an asset. Very good, everyone. Cash is an asset and sale is a revenue. Now you have to tell me which account is increasing, which is decreasing. It may happen that both are increasing. It may happen that both are decreasing, or one is increasing and the other one is decreasing. So first tell me about the cash. Whenever we will be selling the goods in cash, cash will be coming inside. So it must be, yes, it must be increased. Very good. It must be increased. So cash is increased. Increased. When asset increases, it is always debited. When asset increases, it is always debited. Now talk about the revenue. Revenue, when we are selling goods, we are getting the revenue. It means revenue is also increased. Revenue is also increased. So when revenue increases, it is debited or credited? Please tell me. Yes, Arush, very good. Harsh, Harshi, very good. Sia, Paridhi, very good, beta. So it is always credited. So you can see that in this transaction, we have found two accounts are involved, cash and sales. Then find their nature. One is asset, one is revenue. Then next thing we have to find out which one is increasing, which one is decreasing, because on the basis of their increase and decrease, we will be able to find out which account is to be debited and which is to be credited. Clear? So both, one is asset, one is revenue. Cash is incoming, so it is increasing. Whenever cash is incoming, it will be increasing and it will be always debited. Why debited? Because we have learned that cash is an asset, and whenever asset increases, it is always debited. And if one account is debited, then it's quite understood that the other account will be credited. So if you want to apply the rule, you can apply the rule. Otherwise, you can write directly. Cash is debited and credit is revenue. Revenue is credited. So as we are following the double entry principle, so every debit must be having a corresponding credit of the same amount. ठीक है? जितने से आप डेबिट करेंगे उतने से ही आपका क्रेडिट भी होगा. It compulsory. Why? Because we are following dual aspect principle. And this principle says that every transaction has two aspects. One is debit and one is credit. Clear? Now, how to write this transaction in journal? Wait a minute. I'm making here the format of journal again. Now, I will be telling how to write this transaction in the format of journal. This is the format of journal. A small format I have drawn. So here you are going to mention journal of, if name of business is not given, then you can leave it blank. Journal of dash. This column you are going to use for date. If date of transaction is mentioned, you will be writing same. Otherwise, you may write the sequence number. Then here particulars. Then LF for ledger folio, you have to learn the format. And the amount, debit, amount or rupees, credit. So this table for each and every transaction you need to prepare. When you will be in practice with the journal, then you need not to make the table. In mind also you can decide that which account is to be debited and which is to be credited. It is not necessary to prepare the table, but for the beginners in the initial stage, it is always advisable to make this table for better clarity, for better understanding of the concept. Don't pass any journal entry on random. Just analyze the transaction, then decide that which account is to be debited and which is to be credited. Now we need to write. So two accounts are involved here. You can see cash and sales. And it is the custom that in journal, first account which we need to write is the account which is to be debited. So the account which is debited will be written first. So which account is debited here? Cash. So I'm writing here cash account DR. So in this manner, only in this manner you are supposed to write. You cannot change the manner. You cannot write like this, cash account debit. There must be a space in between the name of account and the word debit. Here, cash account debit. So out of these two accounts, which account you need to write first? The account which is debited. Then for writing the credit account, you need to write like this, little bit slanting, to sales account. The account which is credited, that will be written after writing the word, the preposition to sales account. And we are not going to write here credit. So this is custom, this is tradition, that only in this manner we can write in journal. Here, we cannot make our own form. So there must be a slanting debit and credit entry. If we have started the debit here, then the credit entry will be written like this. So cash account debit to sales account. Here, to means credit. Okay, to means credit side. So cash account debit to sales. Now write the amount. Suppose the goods were of rupees 5,000. Debit amount will be written here in front of this, and credit amount will be written here in the column of credit. This. You need not to draw these arrows. For your concept clarity, I have drawn these arrows. So you are not going to draw these arrows. Clear? So this is the debit amount. This is the credit amount. And this complete, now the transaction is not ended. Now you have to describe the transaction. So you are going to put a small bracket after the ending of the transaction, small bracket, and you will be writing, you will be explaining what you have done in this transaction. So what we have done, what we can write the same thing, whatever is given in the question, by adding for goods sold for cash. We can write it by for, or one more option is there, that is the being. So out of these two words, any word you can write, either for or being. Clear? And the bracket is closed. Then one line you need to draw. And this complete portion, okay, this complete portion is known as journal entry. This is one journal entry. For every transaction, there will be a one journal entry. If there are 10 transactions, it means there will be 10 journal entries. If there are 100 transactions in a single day, then it means there will be 100 journal entry. For every transaction, there will be one journal entry involving at least 2 accounts. There may be more than 2 accounts. In the later part of the chapter, we will be doing the transactions in which more than 2 accounts are involved. I am explaining again. And whatever this process we have followed, all this process, whatever the process we have followed to pass the journal entry, this process is known as journalizing. This process means deciding which account is to be debited and which account is to be credited. And then finally writing the transaction in the journal is known as journalizing. And this portion which we have written in bracket is known as narration. It is known as narration. One marker, again very important question. So what is narration? Narration means the brief description of the transaction. Narration means brief description of the transaction. Means whatever we have done, then we have to describe why we have written these 2 accounts, what we have done in this transaction, and this brief description is known as narration. Clear? If you have any doubt, you can raise up your hand about this. Then I will be giving you some more examples. You can raise your hands better.